Hi YouTube, thanks for tuning in again. Get you updated here. I've done a little bit of work since you've last seen it. It's got a back end now, shocks, suspension's done. Getting ready to start tearing the bike down, get the motor on there. Let's check it out. See, this is what we're working with now. I did a lot of work last night coming out here and getting everything in primer so it's not bare metal and just sitting there. All the sheet metal's welded in there. I do got to weld it from the bottom here where my shock's at. So you can hear it's loose there. Got to flip it upside down and weld it. Back of it. Got my shocks in and mounted up. I need to find a weld the rear end still. I need to get underneath here and weld some of that sheet metal to that. Clean all that up, get some primer on it. This thing's looking pretty badass though. Now I'm trying to figure out how to put that big heavy thing into here. I think I'm going to set it in the passenger floorboard right here and just slide it into there. Got the engine up in the air, getting ready to set it in for the first time and see how everything looks here. Alright, she is tacked in there. Motor finally in. A long time coming. I got some pretty good tacks on it. I also got to make a motor mount for the back of it right here where that bolt's at, and one up here probably. Massive wiring. I'm gonna have to make a new header. The old header is not gonna wrap up under there like it used to, but altogether not a perfect fit. It's gonna have hood clearance. Gonna shut it down, not know it's in there if I make some inner fenders. The air box, be able to use the original air box and actually set it up inside here underneath this right here. Should work out pretty well. Time to start getting some controls fabbed up, get the rest of my motor mounts done. Alright, now the motor is out. I have my motor mount, at least the bottom cradle, final welded in there. I just got it primed and I'm letting the primer kind of dry. I'm going to set the motor back in and we can start fabbing some controls up. Alright, she is bolted in. Now I got to start doing controls, which is a mess. Wires everywhere. Look at that. Start doing each control. I think first I'm going to make some type of coil mounts. I got both my coils here. I'm going to mount them somewhere up here under the cowl, I think. The air box actually went back in the same location it came out of. It worked out pretty good. Got to have a horn. It's a mess. But it fits, and it fits good. It looks good in there. It's like it was made for it. And the custom header, lots of work ahead. You ever learn one of them lessons that you already knew better and you did it anyways? Thought it'd be cool, but it wasn't. This is one of those cases. As you see here, my engine is back on the ground. Well, usually you tack stuff together until you get it all together and know it works. Well, I said, that motor would be perfect there. I just final welded everything in. I was wrong. So now I got to cut all this back out and probably redo this whole front section of frame here, because I want the motor to move over to the right like 4 or 5 inches. It's going to solve a few different problems. It's going to give me more room for my pedals. It's going to solve the problem of when I get on it, it wants to lean over. When I'm just on it by myself, it'll throw a little more weight towards the passenger side. It'll give me more room for my steering column, and it'll do a bunch of shit. So now I got to cut all this back apart and redo it after I welded the crap out of it. I mean, welded all the way across. Alright, people. Next step here. I wasn't going to record me just doing a bunch of grinding and cutting. Shit is out of there. Now, time to set her in there and to see how she's going to look. Alright, my motor is back in. Now, if you see, it's a little bit to that one side and it's got kind of a lean to it. Well, the reasoning for that is so when I go to ride it and I sit in this thing, it doesn't, see how it's pretty level with me in it? So the motor is mounted. I also have a brake, which is just the old foot thing off the motorcycle, and I'm thinking about just taking the clutch lever and mounting it right up there for a clutch. I think it would actually work pretty well to just use that lever as the clutch, and it either works or it don't, right? Then if you look, my brake is actually hooked to a small master cylinder there that's mounted up. The reservoir, I'll have to make a mount for that, no big deal there. The motor, my motor mounts I made, just all tacked this time. But it will all work. I had to make like an outrigger off my frame right there to mount the other motor mount. I still have to mount the backup, which I'll do in the end because it'd be real easy. It'd just be 2 tabs coming off these to that bar, and then tabs coming off them down to here, down to the bottom of my cab. Should all work pretty good. Got my coil mount I made there. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Stick around. Next video, I should have this thing running. Not driving, but actually running and bolted up. Have a lot more of the controls and stuff done. Thanks for watching. If you can help by giving me a like and a subscribe, it'd be much appreciated. Have a good one.